Ned Fulmer is clawing his way back into the spotlight, and it's worse than anyone could have seen coming. Years after his cheating scandal forced him into hiding, he's back. And just like before, he's leaning on the very woman he betrayed to rebuild his image. The wife he once used to gain fame is now the backbone of his return. And people are noticing. He's doing it using the same family channel they once built together on all things parenting. He didn't just start a podcast. He took their parenting channel and all of the subscribers it had, deleted the content, and then just rebranded it and used it to, yet again, profit off of Ariel's pain and experience. We all need to stop framing it like he just showed up in a new space. Nope. He took over something that was from their marriage and made it all for and about him. It's a desperate rebrand that many are calling out for what it really is, a podcast that never should have happened. So let's dive into the key moments that are making people vow to never click on his channel again.
Because he looked shocked for half the answers. And that's one thing I can't stand with people who make selfish choices that destroy things. They really can't grasp the understanding that this is a consequence. This person might not even want to with me no more. This person don't even like me no more.
I think this man needs psychiatric help. I can't stand him.
The way he was sitting there looking like he was emotionally lost and then saying, I'm doing this podcast for her to heal and move on. I think she already moved on.
Ned, previously of the Try Guys, recently took to YouTube to share a deeply personal podcast depicting he and his ex-wife, Ariel, talking about the scandal that broke not only their marriage, but also both of their careers and lives as they knew it. And so, as he claims in the start of the video before his conversation with Ariel begins, this was a necessary step for her to move forward.
I hope to make amends over time. And one step is to publicly witness the pain of my partner, Ariel. It's painful at times. It's honest, vulnerable, brutal. But it's necessary for her to move forward, and I'm grateful for the chance to witness it.
And even though it starts with them admitting that they would both like to leave the room.
I mean, I'm on the verge of standing up and walking out of this room. Absolutely.
Same.
I'm like, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing?
Instead, they remained seated and had a conversation about the past, present, and future. But there are a number of points throughout the podcast that many people just couldn't get over. First was just how uncomfortable the whole exchange was. Many commenters noted how Ned's voice sounded forced and intentionally dramatic.
Hi, I'm Ned Fulmer.
This intro is absolutely hilarious. What is this man even saying? This whispery, somber voice he's putting on? Like, Fulmer, did you not script this? The apology accent in the beginning, bro, I'm trying so hard not to laugh. His slow, sad, scratchy voice actually sounds like nails on a chalkboard. It's so infuriating. I can't deal with the YouTuber apology video voice that's always 3 times lower than their natural octave. Why is he talking like that? I don't mean what is he saying. I mean his voice pitch is so forced it's bordering on satire. He sounds like he is trying to imitate a croaking toad. And a number of seemingly intentional long awkward pauses in conversation with prolonged eye contact between revelations were both being celebrated and made viewers feel like this was meant to be behind closed doors and not in front of a microphone and cameras. Like their exchange when Ned reveals when he realized just how much he'd hurt her.
Oh no, this is like I've been hurting this person that I love this whole time.
You didn't realize until then?
Well, you know, but then there's other things you tell yourself to kind of sort of compartmentalize, or I guess.
Interesting.
And when Ariel asked Ned what led him to choose the affair over their marriage.
What happened?
Well, the dream started to break apart for me, and then rather than being able to talk about it or to confront those feelings, I wanted to, I guess I was too afraid to say how I was actually feeling, and it seemed, I don't know, I chose to deal with it and deal with like feelings that I was experiencing in a way that was really self-destructive and hurtful to you. And it wasn't like anything you did or like we had a bad marriage. It was about me and choices that I made and just actions that I took that I'll always regret. I'll always regret how much pain I caused you.
The list goes on, and though uncomfortable, people were mostly all for it. This should be in a therapist office, not a podcast. Microphones aren't therapists. I love that she lets silence hang in the air after he says something horrible or stupid and just fully lets him feel uncomfortable. I love that she doesn't give in to the uncomfortable silences. She doesn't just say anything to make things lighter. She's facing all of the feelings that lay heavy in that room, pointing them out, while he just stares and grimaces. She's effortlessly and even respectfully making him squirm while she grows. Amazing. If you don't already know, Ned Fulmer rose to prominence as one of the 4 original members of the Try Guys, a comedy group that started on BuzzFeed in 2014 before branching out into their own independent company in 2018, Second Try LLC. Known for their funny, experimental videos where they would try everything from extreme stunts to baking challenges, the Try Guys quickly built a massive online following, amassing millions of subscribers and expanding into live shows, books, and television appearances.
Ned was known as the wife guy, with a lot of the focus on the content being how much he loves his wife. He was also the first of the Try Guys to be married, so he was the only one with a wife for a while. Around the time they're leaving BuzzFeed, Ned's wife Ariel is pregnant with their first child. And 5 of the first 10 videos on the Try Guys' new channel are about Ned's wife having a baby, or like tangentially related to it. Try Guys throw a baby shower, they deliver a baby, they diet like pregnant people, they try 14 hours of labor pain simulation, and of course they meet Ned's baby. He's the wife guy, he's the family guy, he's the only dad among the Try Guys.
But then, as things continued to ramp up with the Try Guys' success, things took a wild turn.
This Reddit user posts a picture of herself with Ned Fulmer at a Harry Styles concert at Madison Square Garden. She says that she saw Ned and Alex, but she didn't see anybody else from the Try Guys.
Ned was also photographed kissing other women while in New York City. Things started reaching the other Try Guys, and Ned was quickly removed from his segments in their new videos.
But even though they were not making any public statements yet, there was very clear signs that things were happening in the background.
And when everything came out about his affair, the Try Guys made an official statement that they would no longer be working with Ned after an internal review.
Ned also makes a statement. Family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus and had a consensual workplace relationship. Very interesting way to describe hooking up with your subordinate. Sorry for any pain that my actions may have caused to the guys and fans, but most of all to Ariel. The only thing that matters right now is my marriage and children, and that's where I'm going to focus my attention.
And since then, Ned and Ariel have laid low and out of the spotlight. But the new podcast on a channel called Rock Bottom with Ned Fulmer apparently seemed like the right time for them to come forward and speak publicly on all that happened together. But people were not as welcoming as Ned may have hoped. In fact, most people were just disgusted by the overall vibe of Ned's new podcast and agreed that it never should have happened in the first place. I felt sick to my stomach seeing Ariel talk about the cheating in front of him, knowing he's making money off her pain. I will absolutely be boycotting his podcast. Just gross. You could not waterboard me to do a podcast with a man who cheated on me. I can't believe he's really interviewing her about him traumatizing her. And they continue to point how, in many ways, it seems as though Ned was victimizing himself.
And throughout the whole podcast, Ned keeps referencing to his cheating as a mistake. And I don't know, it kind of feels like he's trying to make himself sound like the victim just because he's accepting the blame.
Man fails to convince his ex-wife that he's also a victim of his months-long affair. Pack it in, Squidward. Nobody's buying it. Damn, that really sucks that happened to you. Ned's vibe the whole time. Ned referring to cheating on his wife as outdated drama hit me like a truck. What is wrong with him? Ned gives the vibe of, sure, I cheated on you, but come on, it's not my fault. Not him portraying his own cheating scandal with his employee as something he overcame and survived. LMAO. This is also combined with the number of times Ned referred to his cheating on his wife as the scandal.
It became a massive public scandal that caused a lot of pain to a lot of people. How did having it become such a public scandal kind of change everything for you? Did it make it worse? Broadly speaking, these scandals are such ignition points.
Notice how he says the public scandal caused a lot of pain, not the act of him actually cheating and tearing his family apart. I saw someone else comment, the fact he says the scandal and she says your affair tells you everything you need to know. And now that I've seen some clips, they were right. And though Ariel did also refer to the affair and its subsequent fallout as the scandal on multiple occasions throughout the video that went on for over an hour, the comment is right. She also called it what it was, Ned's affair. And one of those instances was when Ariel got real about the heart-wrenching way she came to find out about Ned's betrayal.
I found out about your affair from the fans. And I was so blindsided that somebody sent me a picture and I couldn't, it was like my brain couldn't compute. And it's like for some reason I didn't see what was actually there in the picture. I thought it was your sister. And I remember sending it to you and being like, what's your sister doing in New York?
But it was Ned's response to another time Ariel became candid with how the affair made her feel and what he did to her that really set viewers off.
In that sort of release of their of all of that
shame and guilt
and guilt that they've been holding. Mm-hmm. It's almost like they feel so much relief, but the partner then has to accept it. And that's exactly what happened. Mm. When you told me, suddenly then I had to take all of that guilt and shame of your affair. And it was so much to carry.
Ariel continued by explaining how, in society, when a husband cheats on their wife, the wife is often then burdened with the guilt and shame that comes with other people's questions and opinions. The ones where they ask what the wife did to cause the husband to look elsewhere.
And there's so much shame there. And I'm so tired of holding that.
Then, when she asked Ned how hearing all of that made him feel, it was his reply that outraged viewers.
I don't think it's fair that as a society you're put in that position. It's certainly not true.
You put this guilt and shame on me. It's unfair that society does that. No, Ned, not society. She said you, as in the cheater. You. I cannot believe that when Ariel confronted Ned about the guilt and shame he put on her, he started talking about society. Like, WTF, you're the one who's at fault. She said, you put that shame on me and I'll have to carry it for the rest of my life. And his answer was, it sucks that society puts that on women. Blah, blah, blah. Gross. Just gross. I cheated on you. How did it make you feel? You really hurt me publicly and personally. I'm sorry society hurt you. It shouldn't do that. Oof. Buddy, that was not the point. Because even though Ariel was the first to tie in how society reacts to women in divorces resulting from their husbands' affairs, that was definitely not how Ned should have responded in that moment. It was a chance for him to humble himself, accept accountability, and apologize. And though he did continue by saying that he didn't imagine that's what would happen when he was in the middle of the affair, he really ought to have worded things differently there. And Ariel's facial expression to his words show her disbelief right alongside everyone else who witnessed the cringy reply. Then there was the fact that Ned continuously referred to the woman he had an affair with as his producer, when in reality it was much more controversial than that.
3 years ago, I cheated on my wife with my producer. I was a company owner and having a relationship with a producer.
My producer is a funny way of saying my subordinate employee at the company I owned. 100% a calculated move to say my producer instead of my employee. He was her boss. Hate that he's now reframed it to be my producer instead of I cheated with my employee. You see, Ned's role was foundational. He was a co-founder, on-camera talent, and executive producer shaping the brand's growth. The woman at the center of the story, associate producer Alexandria Herring, was part of the crew, making her a subordinate. Ned's home life was a visible part of the Try Guy's narrative through his supposedly happy marriage to Ariel, and Alexandria was engaged at the time, which all led the other 3 Try Guys to be blown away by the news.
It's not just, oh, our friend is cheating on his wife. It's, oh, our friend is cheating on his wife, who is also our coworker, with his subordinate, who is also our employee.
Another moment that left many shocked by Ned's audacity was when they were both talking about how meeting new friends in the last few years went, when the other person would want to follow each other on Instagram.
It's like, oh, let's exchange Instagrams. I'm like, well,
Right?
Here's mine, but couple of caveats. 1, I have a lot more followers than you might expect. 2, all of this is pretty outdated. And 3, don't Google me.
Love that the first caveat he tells people is, I probably have more followers, thank you, and not, I was caught cheating on my wife with my employee and was publicly shamed for the past 3 years. Something else people can't get over? Ned trying to constantly relate to Ariel.
And throughout the whole podcast, Ned was getting on my nerves because he keeps saying same. He keeps saying, oh yeah, I relate. Buddy, you don't relate. Your situation and Ariel's situation, entirely different.
And while a few people couldn't get behind Ariel joining him for this podcast, there's something very sinister about interviewing your ex-wife about your own cheating scandal and then still trying to use your ex-wife talking about it to rehabilitate your career and then voluntarily getting interviewed by your cheating husband and voluntarily admitting you spend time with him like besties is insane. Others were proud of her and saw why she did it. People are missing something. In the pre-interview segment, Ned says Ariel wanted to do a sit-down and talk because she doesn't want to have to carry the weight of addressing his mistake in her future endeavors. I actually am happy that podcast exists because Ariel got to control the narrative in a situation she has been a victim of for years. She is so strong and inspirational for remaining firm in her boundaries, refusing to coddle Ned, and reminding everyone that forgiveness is not required to move on. It was hella uncomfy, and I will not give Ned more views, but listening to Ariel really made it all worth it for me. I love her and wish her nothing but happiness. At first, I was like, Ariel, no, what are you doing? But then I understood that it was a never interrupt an enemy when they're making a mistake moment, and it was genius. Ariel, you still are the smartest, bravest, and most beautiful queen. Ariel letting him post that is iconic, the revenge she deserves. But everyone agreed that Ned was stooping way beyond low for this new podcast endeavor. Trying to profit off cheating on his wife is insane behavior. Poor Ariel, I'm so glad she got out of there. This man is disgusting. Why is he talking about himself as if he's a survivor? Bro, you are the cause. A couple TikTokers even posted parodies of the conversation, highlighting just how cringeworthy and irregular the whole thing was.
It's complicated. We're still friends. We go on trips together. There's like a spectrum of being together and not being together. There are ways in which we're together. I mean, and then the big one, and if we're together, then the answer is no. But then there are ways also wherein that we are, like how we have kids. Everyone wants to know, are you an item? And it's like, well, no, absolutely not, never. Right, no, yes, no, definitely not. Yeah, no, we are not. And there are moments when we tried. Right? But, just because you go to a Taylor Swift concert doesn't mean that all is forgiven.
We're working on things. As co-parents. Maybe something more.
What if I killed you?
Try guy can't be bad guy.
The affair just like shattered our marriage and kind of ruined my life and everything I felt like I had built.
Well, I lost being a try guy, so who was really impacted more? Just made out with her publicly. I thought, oh, that's a thing to try. And I tried it. I can tell you still love me. Just by how you look at me.
A few people had a theory as to why he was doing it at all. He must be running out of money. Even when trying to make his grand return to the internet, Ned's biggest selling point is still his ex-wife. Man really has no personality or anything original to offer. Boycott. But a reply to that comment wanted to shed some light on an aspect of the origins of this new podcast of many likely don't realize. This was actually their podcast family channel. He changed the name and deleted all past content to make it look like people actually cared about what he has to say now. And they were right. I looked up his channel on Social Blade and it backs up everything you said. It shows that 38 videos were deleted on September 17th, 2025 and were replaced with this video. Replacing a channel meant for his ex-wife and children with a channel meant to make him look good really says everything you need to know. The commenter is right. Looking at rock bottom on Social Blade reveals the startling truth. This channel was created in 2020, but only has 4 videos. The podcast with Ariel, 2 shorts of clips from their conversation, and a new video posted only days ago. The site also reveals that Rock Bottom with Ned Fulmer lost over 5 million views on September 17, 2025, when it deleted 38 videos from the page. But that's also the same day his conversation with Ariel went live as well. All the while, the 62,000 subscribers that the channel had has grown in the last few days, though not by much. Some even seem to have jumped ship after seeing what Ned had done. But if you needed any more convincing that it was the YouTube channel that Ned and Ariel had built together to share about their parenting journey, a quick search on Wayback Machine corroborates the connection. As of August 21st, 2025, Baby Steps had 62,000 subscribers, the same number that Rock Bottom appears to have started with, and 40 videos, nearly the same number that was then wiped to create a clean slate for Ned's new endeavor. And within the description of Rock Bottom with Ned Fulmer, under more info, it clearly states that the channel was originally created in 2020 and has only 4 videos. It's clear that some things are too hard to wipe away, though one might try, and more proof of that is in the reviews. Since the videos posted on Baby Steps were also available on podcast streaming services like Apple Podcast and Spotify, those reviews remain, even though Ned has changed the name. So, all of the 5-star reviews stick around, even though the old content has been stripped away.
Ned and Ariel had their own podcast called Baby Steps, where they would discuss various aspects of raising a child. You may have heard the rumors that Ned's new podcast, Rock Bottom, is actually just the Baby Steps podcast rebranded. Those rumors are 100% accurate. Here is the podcast. You can see that it has 1,700 reviews. The new ones are just like no, and the old ones are still all of the reviews for Baby Steps.
The news of this rebrand left many people in shock, but also not all that surprised. No, because the fact that he repurposed their family podcast channel to do this is also so disrespectful. Holy sh**, ain't no way. Just when I thought it couldn't get worse than him using the wife he cheated on to kickstart his channel. We can't be surprised that the guy who lied to everyone would mislead viewers by making it look like people actually cared about what his cheating ass had to say. Let's be real, no one would subscribe to a new channel he would start. Ain't no way. I was wondering why he had a lot of subscribers. Ned is the ultimate adulterer. The irony of building his new career off of the complete obliteration of the representation of his happy family life. The audacity of overtaking something that could have been bringing in some money to Ariel, even if not much. The corruption of making their channel about him. The irony that he was profiting off of his wife's personality his whole career, and now not only continuing to define himself through her, but doing it on the platform they created together while entirely wiping it clean of his family life. The insecurity of piggybacking off the subscriber base they built with Ariel instead of building his own from scratch. And it can also be noted that Ned didn't only rebrand his family account, but he also cleared everything from his old personal account as well. According to Social Blade, the channel was created in 2009 and has over 307,000 subscribers, but on September 17th, The same day as the baby steps culling, he also removed nearly all previous videos from the channel, except for 2 shorts, losing nearly 12.5 million views. The channel as it stands at the time of this video being made has no content other than 5 shorts, 2 old and 3 new. Regardless of the wild news that Rock Bottom is built on the back of an old, once happy family channel and all it represented, nearly every comment drew the same conclusion. Ned should not have done this. He clearly feels no remorse and the future of the channel looks bleak. He didn't come clean. He was caught. He didn't leave. He got fired. This guy is literally the worst and delusional. I'd prefer he stay gone. He put himself at rock bottom because he belongs at the bottom of the dumpster. It takes a certain person to have a gorgeous family, good paying job, and everything going for you, and you just throw it away for no reason. Ned doesn't feel bad for what he did. He only felt bad for himself because he got caught. He only apologizes to absolve himself. I know people call everyone a narcissist nowadays, but Ned is a textbook case. Well, I don't remember it happening that way, equals gaslighting. I suddenly realized I hurt someone I love, equals performative fake guilt after being caught. I overcame something, equals acting like he's a victim from his own choices. I'm glad Ariel left him, and I hope she continues to heal and rebuild her life. My prediction is that this podcast is going to be rehab for canceled influencers. It's going to be people who lost public favor, trying to get it back by throwing a pity party to do their next project. On my bingo card, I will put, I changed, I realized other people had feelings, I'm no longer that person. Many people have been relying on recap and summary videos to break down the podcast for them as they refuse to give Ned the satisfaction of his view count rising, and others vowed to never return to his family channel turned pedestal for the downtrodden.
And if you don't want to watch the podcast but want to see a whole recap, I just posted one, so go and check it out.
I'm coming to this video not just for your analysis, but also because I don't want to give Ned the views. The way I'm never clicking this channel again after this video. And if you're wondering whether any of his former Try Guys have had anything to say on Rock Bottom's launch and interview with Ariel, there haven't been any formal statements at the time of this video. But fellow Try Guy Keith did post some things that people are claiming was pointed towards Ned and echoes the sentiment of not giving his new show the time of day.
Keith first posted this video on TikTok saying, "Just don't look." He then took to his Instagram story sharing this message. He said, "Now sounds like a great time to remind everybody that we have been creating so many great new shows with our new TriCast on Second Try. Everything we make is about exploring the world around us with joy and an open mind. We hope you come by and check it out."
A few assurances can be drawn from the podcast overall. Ariel and Ned are no longer together. They live in separate houses, they are able to see other people, they still co-parent and have admittedly come a long way in their ability to do that in a healthy, amicable way.
They're not together. She calls him her ex-husband, her platonic friend. She says that they are, well, both of them say that they are devoted co-parents.
But Ariel does not and will not be forgiving Ned for what he did to her, their marriage and their family. She made that abundantly clear.
Like, people ask me, like, do you forgive Ned for what he did? And I mean, the answer is no, absolutely not. How can you forgive somebody for lying to you, for cheating on you? No. No. Like, that, like, I don't even, it's, sorry, I saw red for a minute. It's like, no, the answer is no.
And what does Ned think about all of the negativity surrounding Rock Bottom? He told People magazine in an exclusive interview that, in terms of the online reaction, I think I've come to understand that I have to tune it out a little bit. Listen to it to the extent that it's helpful, but to really just let the work speak for itself and move on to the next episode. Time will tell how Ned's wiped clean and rebranded channel does going forward, but one thing is for sure. Fans are not here for his attempt to feign the victim and are instead all the way on board with hearing Ariel stand her ground and call things as they are. What did you think about Ned cleaning out his past to try to start fresh? What about their conversation? Have you or do you plan to watch it? And if you did, what did you think? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's the best thing to help us continue creating more similar videos like these.